Moving forward, we're going to be doing all of our drafting in AutoCAD. If you have not already, I would go and purchase Engineering Graphics Essentials with AutoCAD 2019. When you get that book, you will find on Chapter 2 an introduction to how to use AutoCAD. It is approximately a lot of pages. So I'm going to do this video here to kind of give you a quick introduction to AutoCAD so you can get drafting right away. I will have some of the questions in that chapter up on Canvas for you to answer, so you can page through that chapter and answer those questions while you're at home. So I'm just going to get started here. First things first, obviously we need to open AutoCAD. As you can see on my screen here, I have it pinned to my taskbar. I will show you how to do that after we find it. So it might be on your desktop. I like keeping my desktop clean, deleting all the shortcuts. So if it's not on there, it should be. If it is on there, it is AutoCAD 2019. Otherwise, you can go to the Start button, come over here, AutoCAD 2019, click right there. It's right there. Or you can just search for it, AutoCAD. See it popped up. Okay, so I'm gonna click on that. That's gonna open up AutoCAD, and it's gonna do all this loading stuff. If you go right click here, you can, well, mine says unpin, but yours will pin to taskbar, so it'll always just be right there. Depending on the settings on the startup, you may or may not see something like this. If you do see this, here's open drawings. These are just a bunch of my more recent drawings. Let's see if that pops up. Start from scratch. Either pick feet in inches or metric. There's use a template. We'll get into creating templates. That's a little bit down the road. We don't need that quite yet. And then use a wizard, which I've never really used. So I'm just going to start from a blank scratch so I can go over a couple things. Okay. And let's see here. Couple things first, just a quick rundown of the interface here. Let me remove a couple things. So here's your ribbon, which has all the different buttons and commands. For the first day or so, probably just going to be using the Home tab. We'll dig in deeper with each of these tabs as we progress. This bar here probably isn't shown up on yours right now. If it is, great. Otherwise, if it isn't, it's this little button right here, down to here, and then hide. Yours will say show. Oh, here we go. So show menu bar, and there's more options in here for you to select. Once again, there's a lot here. I'm not going to cover it all right now. We will dig into it as we progress. Couple things I like to have open is the layer properties panel, which we'll get into layers more. I'm just going to create a couple for this demonstration. You can click on this button or this type command down here, which I use a lot to type all your commands in. It's much faster as you get used to it. If I just type layer, which if you had noticed when I hovered over the top of this, it said layer right there. Underneath the manages layers and layer properties, that line under there, that's always the type in command, as you can see with all these other ones. See, line says, yeah, we'll get into that, but L for line, a little quicker. So that opens up layer properties. You can drag these and have them floating around, or by clicking here, you can drag and dock them into spots. If you want to get rid of them, there's the X, and I think that one hides it. Yep. So whenever I mouse over it, pops up. When I go away from it, it goes away. So to demonstrate just how to get going and start drawing with little time, I'm going to use a couple there's a couple commands I use all the time, and they basically, you can use them to create most of whatever you're doing. My favorite, I'm gonna make a couple layers here. So to create a layer, you can go Alt N or just click on this button with the little sun, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna create object lines, which those are gonna be white and continuous, and then I'm gonna create a construction line. I'm gonna rename this one to, if you want to rename them, just double click on it, line. I want my construction line not, so here's a couple of, let's see here, on, so on will hide them. That one you'll use sometimes. This one is pretty good for specific layers. I don't want my construction lines to print, so I'm going to click on that. Now it won't print. I want my color to be something else, light gray. Line type continuous. We'll get into different line types pretty soon. And I want my transparency to be 50%. That should be good for my layers for now. So, I like the construction lines, but actually I'm probably not going to use that layer. I'm just going to use my object line for this demonstration. I'm going to use, sometimes that happens. If you just notice there, my taskbar wasn't shown. It was over the top of it. If you just kind of drag and on the top bar here, you can maximize and re-maximize your screen, and it'll fix that. So I'm going to quick redraw the first drawing you did with the geometric constructions in AutoCAD and show you how much quicker it is to do it in AutoCAD. So I'm going to use, one of my favorite commands is XL, that's for construction line. I'm going to press enter, and it's first asking me for specify a point. So I want it to be at the coordinates of 0, then I just type 0, comma 0, or 0, or you can do tab to go through these. So that's your x-axis, y-axis. Press there. As you can see on my coordinate here, it's at the 0, 0. I want it at, I hit tab, 0, I want it 0 and 0 degrees, and I want one at 90 degrees. And there it is. Down here is the status bar. Let's see, that's, you can have that turned on. That will always keep things at 90 degrees. It's kind of annoying if you ask me. This one, you can set up different angles you want it to snap to. I generally just leave it at 90. That's your snapping, reference lines, object snap tracking. I'll show you what that is in a second. And then these are all your different, I would always have these on. These are all your different object snaps. I generally leave a lot of them off. In point, center, I use those on, leave those on, but I leave the other ones off because I can just type them in as I need them. Otherwise, if you leave them all on, it can be kind of annoying because they'll just be snapping to everything as you're going around it, and that's not always what you want. So, with just these two X lines and then some circles, I will be able to make that first drawing. So I'm going to use offset. So what I just did was typed O for offset, and then I'm just going to quick lay out what that drawings dimensions were. So it was 9 inches up. I click on this, goes up 9. Then it went over 1. And then it down 1. And then from here it was 12.5. I think that's it for, wait, we got one more, and that was 1.5 down here. Enter. Now I need a circle, so type C for circle. And that was right here. It had an outside circle of 2.5 for radius. I hit space bar to repeat the circle command. So I'm going to click here again. So it's set to currently to radius. If you don't want to do the math in your head from diameter to radius, you can come down here and click on this, or as you can see that it's highlighted blue, just type D. Now you're in diameter, type 3. That's done. Now I'm going to click L, and to get tangent, either can come down here and turn your tangent snaps on, or type TAN. Now that pops up, click there, and then click the endpoint. Press enter. Let's see if I can do this pretty smoothly. So I want to trim off all the extra construction lines. So I probably did too many that I want, but you'll get the point here. So I'm just going to trim away all the extra. I can't remember. Yeah, so you can also do a window select like that. With the window select, if it's green, it's going to select whatever it touches. If it's, let's see here. If it's, well, it's always going green. What the heck? Oh, because it's probably trim tool. So that's good. 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 I press enter, right click to exit out of commands. Trim. And the rest of these. So as I said, like that's selecting everything. Blue. We'll only select what the blue is completely covering. So as you see, it's not only selecting that one circle because that's the only thing that's fully covered. If you see here, it's hold down, you get this lasso selection. If it's just a tap, then it's just a square. So now I'm going to trim that last bit there and delete. Oh, trim, enter, and there's that drawing. So this is your drawing space. We do all your drawings here. For our paper, for printing out, we're always going to go to the layout tab, and that's here. We'll get into this more, create templates, title blocks, and all that. If I click, this is the viewport. If I click on that, there's a little button here to select the scale. So 1:1 is obviously too big. So it's only got a couple options there. So if you want to go down here, you can go to. So if the one you don't, if the scale you want isn't there, you can go to custom, add the name of the scale. So I want 1:2, and okay. That's, oh, it didn't. There we go. Click on that again. Let's see if that showed up in there. 1:2. There you go. The book has a tutorial on printing. Control P, that pops up this. I actually think it's kind of easier just to go up to here, export, and export as a PDF, because more often than not, that's what you're going to do, is create PDFs. Let's see here, there's options that we can get into all of this later, but for the time being, we'll just use that to do any of our printing, or not even necessarily printing. You'll just send me the PDF instead of having to give me a piece of paper. So that's just that easy to create something like that. I'm gonna do a couple more examples from the drawings you just did by hand. I just hit the delete key on the keyboard to do that. So I'm going to do the sixth drawing, the one with the ellipse. So the drawing the ellipse was probably kind of a pain in the butt in AutoCAD. Not really the case. So I'm going to type EL for ellipse. All these can be found up here. You can just kind of, the icons look like what you're looking for. So there's the ellipse here if you just want to click on the button. Press enter. It's asking me for a specify. this is specify an endpoint. I want to go to a center. So when you start any command, take a gander down here first to see what kind of options you have. I want center. So 0, 0, press enter. Now it wants one of the endpoints of the axis, which would be half of 6.5, so 3 1/4, and then half of 4 1/2, 2 1/4. So there's my ellipse done, and that's an actual ellipse, unlike what we did by hand. Alright, so I'm going to place in some more features. I'm going to circle. Oops. C for circle. So this is polar tracking. If you highlight on something and it goes green, as you can see right there, you can move away from it and it will track it, and then you specify a distance at that point. That seems, but I want from this point over. So if I type quad for quadrant, it gets me that. Let's see here. See, it won't do the tracking. So the one option you have is typing TT for temporary tracking. And I'm going to click there, and now that's where I'm tracking from, and I want it 0.75. Something went wrong. Let's try that one more time. Circle, quad, TT, 0.75. There we go. Not sure what happened there. I want that to be 0.75. Restart my circle command with the space bar. I want that to be a circle of 1 inch diameter, so 0.5. I need to go from here to here is 4. That has a radius of, or diameter of 3, so 1.5. It's got a hexagon in it, so there is the, where's that at? Here, a polygon underneath the rectangle, or just typing POL. Most of the time, if you just start typing the name of whatever you're looking for, there's the command is fairly obvious. So poly, it's got 6 sides, and then it is inscribed in the circle, and it's got a width of 2, so half of that 1. That's done. Let's go circle. There's also an arc command. I like circles better. You just trim them off when you're done. Quad. That radius of 3.5. Another favorite command of mine is copy. CO. To get the center of a circle, sometimes you have to go out to its edge, and then that will pop up the center of it. Pop that there. Now I could do no circles here, tangent, tangent, or use the fillet command, which, typing it in, FIL, fillet, there it is. Okay, before you click on anything, check down here. We want to set, see it says our mode trim radius 0. So we need to set our radius first, which is 0.5. We're going to do 4 of these, so we want multiple. So either click on it or type M. Click, click. That's done. I'm going to select each of these and go trim. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And now I need to trim away this. So select, 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 trim, gone, gone. And then there's that shape. And I'll do one more drawing. For example, I suggest trying these yourself just to see how it works, and then we'll I'll have you do a couple drawings from the Chapter 2 book, or from Chapter 2 from the book. Yep, I want to use this one. Delete all that. So now I'm doing the 7th drawing. I'm going to use my construction lines again. Use offset 6, 3, 2. Enter and a circle. We got 1 inch radius, 1 inch diameter. That's in 2 different spots, so I'm going to copy it. And that goes there. There's a circle with a radius of 2 right here. A circle with a diameter of 3 right there. And then I'm going to create a polygon, 6 sides, center right there, circumscribed about a circle because I know that from 2 parallel lines it's 2 inches. As you can see there, I'm going to set it to 2. Oops, what the heck happened there? Oh, half of 2. Oops, I was on the undo command. Let's try that one more time. 6, circumscribe, and 1. That was at B. So now to rotate this, I'm going to type RO, rotate. Base point is the center, and I'm going to go -75 to get it 15 degrees off of that horizontal line. And there it is. Now we got to do our tangent arcs between here and here, and tangent lines from there and there. So I'm going to go circle. One of my options for the circle is tangent, tangent, radius. Click on that. So this kind of matters. If I click here and here, the circle is going to be up here, I believe. If I click kind of up here and here, and then now I'm going to enter my radius of 5, it puts it in the right spot. Let me try that the wrong way and show you what would happen if you potentially click in the wrong spots. Tangent. So if I click here, here, and 5, yeah, it puts it on here. So it matters where you click that tangent. Kind of eyeball where the tangency would actually be for where you want that arc to be placed. So circle, tangent. So I want that kind of on the inside here, down there. So click there, there, and radius of 2. Oh, see, I didn't click in the right spot, so it kind of got messed up. Oop, that's set to erase. Circle, tangent. I want it there, there, 2. There we go. So if I click on these 2 circles, trim, gets rid of that and that. Enter. Click on these, trim, click there, there. Done. Now I'm going to go to line, tan for tangent, there, tan again, there, tan, tan, done. Select these 2 lines, trim, select these. I don't have to, if you want to select, when you select things, it's just, it always will keep selecting them. If you want to deselect something, press on shift and then click on it, and that will unselect something. So that's, with those couple of commands, you should be able to recreate all of those drawings that we just did in a fraction of the time it took you to do it by hand. So give it a shot. Ask me plenty of questions. There's a comment function on these videos, so if there's a certain part in the video that you have a question on, either ask me in class or comment on that in the video, so because other people might have that same question and I can't answer it on the video. Alright, have fun.